Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got jewels in your religion, all designed to keep you safe.
Okay, it's the Viper 4567 here with another edition of random pay-per-view reviews. This is now going to be WWE No One Night Stand 2008. As I've said, I'm going to start doing a couple of 2008 shows, but I'm going to do them in random order. Just as I feel like it was one of my one of my favorite years. It was one of my favorite years. As part of the company. Yeah, all around a decent pay-per-view, I must say. Really enjoyed the show. Like, every match was good. Every match was watchable and good. I think the worst match was 2 stars, so that should tell you how good the show was. It was a solid show. Some good action. It's a gimmick pay-per-view, so this was one of the first gimmick pay-per-views, kind of what WWE were trying to go at. They've had so many so far. They've had Breaking Point, they've had fucking Fatal 4-Way, they've had, what else? Capital Punishment, they've had other little fucking crappy things. But this one worked in my opinion, gimmick wise. Obviously it's called Extreme Rules now, but it still kind of works in my opinion. But yeah, it's over. Good solid show, but we'll get on with it. This was in the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California. A crowd of just under 10,000, which is surprising. I thought now they could get a bit more than that in. They could have sold out another arena. So the matches on the card were pretty good. So we'll get on with it, will we? Jeff Hardy defeats Umaga in a good Falls Count Anywhere match to kick off the show. 2.5 stars. No problem with this one at all. It was good. Umaga did okay in the match. Didn't think this match would do any good of him. I actually remember watching this live years ago, in 2008, and I thought even then it was a good show. And obviously I bought the DVD I think 6 months later, and still love it. It was one of my favourite shows of that year. But Whisper in the Wind gets 2. Black Hole Slam gets 2 for Umaga. Plancha from Jeff gets 2 on the outside. Umaga rams Jeff into the bar, and then Umaga and Jeff fight into the crowd. Umaga rams 3 chairs into Jeff. They have a row of empty seats basically, and they all have a WWE fucking signature fucking letter. I say it's paid to keep it for the match itself, which kind of makes no sense, but hey, he hits him with them. Jeff then hits Umaga with a traffic cone, which was funny. Umaga then with a stiff kick gets 2. Jeff then uses the fire extinguisher. Then they're into the backstage area, and the bells up to the top of the arena, and then basically going up the stairs. Jahari slides down and gives Jeff Umaga a clothesline. It was absolutely fucking brilliant. That gets 2. Jeff Umaga then fight outside the arena, out on towards the parking lot, all stuff like that. Umaga rams Jeff into a forklift. Jeff then rams Umaga into a truck door. Jeff climbs to the top of a truck. Jeff kicks Umaga off it. And then a Swanton Bomb off the truck, 18-wheeler. It was a lovely spot, and that gets the win. Only problem is you can see a protective mat, or a thing it was moved, because the camera stayed in that position when Jeff done the Swanton Bomb for about a good couple of seconds, up to a minute. And you could see when the 3 count came in, but then when we saw it, then it was moved away when they were turned it to another angle. So it does put it off a little bit, but 2.5 stars, a good match, good decent start to the show in my opinion. Then Mick Foley talks about the stretcher match. Next match then we have the Singapore K match. The Big Show defeats Tommy Dreamer, Chavo Guerrero, John Morrison and CM Punk. It was a fun match. I thought to become the number 1 contender for the ECW title at the next pay-per-view, which will be Night of Champions. Good fun match. You don't see these type of matches really anymore, do you? Really, it was obviously an ECW match. It was so basically this is ECW's basically famous match. They all tried to attack Big Show. That doesn't work. Showed an elbow was John Morrison and Chavo. Needs the face from Morrison. Frog splash from Chavo. And then here comes the Canes. They all attack Show with them. Chavo hits some football player called Sean Marion by mistake. and then he gets back and hits Chavo then with a stick, which was funny, with the Singapore King, which was funny. CM Punk gave it to him. He went over and gave him one of those little bromance hugs. Miz tries to attack Show, that doesn't work. Morrison then hits the cane into the leg of the Big Show, and the steps falls on Big Show's face. He is busted, which pisses him off. Pump handle suplex with Singapore Cane from Dreamer. Cloverleaf from Dreamer on Punk. Superplex on Chavo, while a power bomb from Morrison, which was awesome. Big Show whips Miz with the cane, and he does the same to Morrison. Show them with a chokeslam on Dreamer, and then a cane to the skull. Gets the win. So yeah, so Big Show is the #1 contender for Kane's ECW title. We also know Mark Henry goes into that match, which is good for him. So 2.5 stars. Kane just laughs when he finds out Big Show wins, so that's just typical Kane. But next match then, John Cena defeats JBL in an okay First Blood match. Now, I'm not a big fan of First Blood matches. I think they're not that great, because at the end of the day it's called First Blood. So like, to be fair, you could get busted up very fucking quickly, and it could be the most weirdest of ways. But I'll give it 2 stars. It was a decent match. Like the guy, like John Cena and JBL, I don't know. They had a good match at Judgment Day 05 years and years ago, in that fucking I Quit match, which was excellent in my opinion. But this match was poor. Like, they didn't really have a great rivalry in 2008, did they really? And then they had another match in a fucking Royal Rumble 09. But JBL exposed the turnbuckle, so Cena does the same. Big boot from JBL. JBL hits Cena with a mic. 5 knuckles shuffle from Cena. JBL hangs Cena on the ropes. JBL then rams Cena into the ring post. JBL rams the head into the steel barrier of Cena, I should say. Cena sets up a DDT on the steps. JBL goes for DDT on the steps, but Cena gets out of the way, so fucking JBL goes back first into the steel steps. Cena hits JBL then with a mic. JBL rams Cena into the exposed turnbuckle. Bulldog on the chair. FU on JBL, and then JBL with a bull whip while Cena's stuck in the ropes, but he gets out with a low blow. STFU then with a steel chain that gets the win, because JBL gets busted up from the mount, which I think is, it wasn't enough blood in my opinion. There wasn't enough. You have to be busted open for First Blood. Like, it just doesn't work. If you're only going to be barely bleeding from the mouth, what's the point, in my opinion? But 2 stars, the most you can give it, in my opinion. Next then, Beth Phoenix defeats Melina in a good match, a good I Quit match. Now, this wasn't for any titles, which was weird to see the women's title wasn't on the line, but hey. But this is one of the best Divas matches probably of the last 10 years, in my opinion. One of the best anyway. But it's probably either second or third, or even first on the list, in my opinion. It was a good match. A guillotine from Melina, knees to the back from Beth, and then Melina grabs her hair and routes her to the face of the mat. Beth then gets out of a submission move. There's some weird submission moves on, well, not weird, but ones that I do not know of, which I'm apologise, because I'm not, I do like wrestling, but I'm not a fucking hardcore, like, I wouldn't know every move, let's just say that. Crowd chant, we want fire. Fuck off, you morons. Nice Clover clutch, I think, on face first into the turnbuckle. Counter, yeah, nice counter from Melina. She puts Beth Phoenix face first into a turnbuckle. Beth then goes shoulder first into ring post. Armbar takedown from Melina. Cross arm breaker then as well, but powerbomb from Beth, and Beth then bends Melina in half basically with a submission move to get the win. But for say I Quit, it was an absolute superb match. Like, the submission work by both of these girls were excellent. Like, it's a shame both of them are not in WWE anymore. It's a shame, but like, these two really kind of bounce off each other, and then they had these two and Mickie James had a pretty decent match the following pay-per-view at Judgment Day. So some of the Divas matches back then were pretty good. So next match then we have the stretcher match. Batista defeating Shawn Michaels in a good match. A good stretcher match. Now, this all happened because of Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair. These two had a match at Backlash. Shawn Michaels feigns an injury to get a win. Batista said, if I find out you're faking the injury, I'm going to hurt you. And Jericho at first didn't believe him, and then he said, oh, I do believe you, all this crap. These two then had a match at Judgment Day, and all this lovely fucking stuff. So yeah, Batista with a clothesline. That sends HBK over the top to the stretcher. HBK then, Batista drops HBK then on the stretcher. HBK rams Batista into the steps. Insecurity from HBK, which was nice. HBK then rams the stretcher into the ribs of Batista. He works on that a lot throughout this match. Then he rams the stretcher into the jaw of Batista, which looked fucking sick. Batista rams HBK into the ring post, spinebuster onto the apron, and then he rams him into the barrier. Running power slam from Batista. Batista then goes shoulder first into the ring post. Diving elbow from HBK, clothesline from Batista, and then Shawn Michaels comes back with sweet chin music. HBK then rams the stretcher again into the ribs of Batista. He then uses the stretcher as a seesaw and basically shot Mike right to the fucking jaw. It was beautiful. Spear by Batista. Batista bomb. Jericho comes down saying, "Oh, don't quit all this crap." Batista says to HBK, "I don't love you. I'm not sorry." Another Batista bomb. Jericho tries to get HBK off the stretcher. Spinebuster on the steps to HBK, and then pushes the stretcher over the line for the win. So yeah, a good match. 3 3/4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Didn't like the fact that Jericho got involved. I think I know they were going to go on now and have a rivalry. Their feud was about to begin, but I just think, come on, fuck off. I'm surprised Batista didn't go for Jericho. Really, I think that would have made the match a little bit more interesting if Jericho had to get involved in after Batista attacking him, we'd say. But but other than that, the match was solid. Stretcher matches are not really one of my favorite matches of all time, but I'll give this one 3 3/4, no problem at all. And Spot was pretty. I wouldn't say it was a great food because it was only over. It was over Ric Flair, really, to be fair. But yeah. Next then, Triple H then defeats Randy Orton in a disappointing last man standing match, because obviously for what happened, Randy Orton broke his collarbone in this match, and obviously he was missing for about the best part of nearly almost 6 months. He didn't fully wrestle until after No Mercy, wasn't it, or something like that? Yeah, it was No Mercy. So we wouldn't say 6 months, we say 5 months, but I give it 2 1/4 star because it could have been a better match if he didn't break the collarbone, because he obviously had to end the match early. So that's just what happens in wrestling sometimes. But Triple H rams Orton into the steps. Triple H rams Orton into the ring post. He does it again. Needs the head of the game from Orton. Dropkick from Orton, or from the game I should say. Then a dropkick from Orton. Orton then with a DDT using the ECW table. Orton then goes shoulder first into the ring post. Then after Triple H counter an RKO. Orton then hits Triple H with his Orton then chokes Triple H with a extension cord basically. Orton then goes for the RKO, and this is where it happens. Triple H sends Orton over the top and he lands right on the I think it was the shoulder, but obviously the collarbone. And then obviously he says you could even see it. He's saying I've broken collarbone. So obviously the match has to end early, so he gets the sledgehammer right to the skull, and that gets the win. And yeah, 2 1/4 star, because it's a shame because the match could have been a 3 star, 3.5. We do not know. So, and Orton does have a go at a fan. The cameras pick up towards when Triple H left. They kept showing the replays. Orton's kind of leaving the arena. He looked like he was actually genuinely going to go for a fan. Just don't think that was worthwhile, because they had to fucking it was real when the security were coming over. The referee even got involved in trying to get Orton away, so Orton must have been really, really vexed, basically. So we're now on to the main event of the evening, which Edge defeats The Undertaker in a great match to win the World Heavyweight title and banish The Undertaker from WWE forever. And when I mean forever, I mean fucking 3 months. But I don't like these type of matches. The ones, this was a TLC match, but I don't like the way if Undertaker loses, he's getting banished. Why don't you say, look, he's going to be suspended? I know it's WWE, but they could have said, look, it's just suspended for a couple of months. But a big boot from Taker in an own school. Another big boot. Baseball slide while Taker had the ladder in his hand. Taker hits Edge with a ladder. Taker then rams Edge into the steps. 4 tables then are set up on the outside. Taker drops Edge onto the ropes. Edge rams Taker face first into the ladder. Taker then rams Edge into the ladder. Taker then off the ladder in the corner. Then Edge does the same for Taker. Snake eyes onto the ladder. Taker then big boots the ladder into the face of Edge, which was fucking nice. Taker then with a chair to the back of Edge. Taker then goes for a leg drop, but Edge puts up a chair. Basically puts up the chair so Taker's leg lands on the chair, so it fucking looked absolutely painful. Edge then goes low, chair to the skull of Taker from Edge. He does that again, which was fucking sick. Frog splash. there's a table set up by the SmackDown announcer's table. He puts Taker on the table and does a frog splash, or splash, or whatever you want to say it, off through the table, which was quite nice. Spear then to Taker. Edge then puts Taker's leg in between the ladder and slaps it, and then uses it then with a chair, which was absolutely fucking sick. And then another chair shot to the skull. Taker goes low. Taker challenge chokeslams Edge onto a ladder. Ryder and Hawkins come out, but they both go through the fucking tables. Oh, it was fucking both on the outside too, which was absolutely fucking beautiful. Spear by Edge, and then Taker goes into the barrier. Taker then with a last ride through 2 tables. Chavo and Bam melee come out. They attack Taker. Taker hits them both with chairs, and then Taker climbs up the ladder, and Edge pushes him. He goes through the 4 tables, which was fucking great move. 3 of them break, only 1 doesn't. But like fucking, especially Taker at his age, to do something like that was fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like, think about it. The guy is what? At that time he was 45 maybe. I don't know. But like, to do that, like, a lot of things could have gone wrong. But no, fair play to him for taking that bump. Edge then climbs up the ladder and he gets the win. And Undertaker is banished forever. So they say. But the match was great. I enjoyed. See, every TLC match I've more or less enjoyed. This one was excellent. Undertaker's first, second, or third really only ladder match in his history. And like, think about it, he had a match with Jeff Hardy on Raw years ago, and that match was pretty damn good. This match was excellent. A 4 1/4 star all the way along. If you want to give it 4.5, you could, but I'll just give it 4 1/4 because that's the rating I want to give it. So, and then obviously all the family and all that, Edge, Hawkins and Ryder all come out. They stay out with Chavo and Bam. Vicky comes out, they all hugging and all that lovely stuff. So so 4 1/4 star. The pay-per-view itself was pretty damn good. We had one great match, but the rest of the other matches were good, solid matches. So overall, you can give it maybe 7. I'll give it 7.75 out of 10. If you want to go 8, you could. That's how it was a really solid pay-per-view. If Orton Triple H was any better, like another star, got up to 3 1/4, like it would have had the last. You think about it, the last 4 matches would have been 3 stars or more. So yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow with a Raw review, which I'm looking forward to doing. See what happens this week on Raw. Hopefully it'll be fucking good for a change, and then I'll be doing Impact on Friday. I'll be watching that Thursday night, because obviously Impact. Technically, if I wanted to watch Impact on television, we say, I'd have to wait till Sunday, because it comes out over here on Challenge, which is actually a UK channel, but due to the fact that I have Sky, like a cable network, I can get the English channel. So I'll be back on Wednesday for tomorrow for Raw, Friday then for Impact, and then obviously next week I'm back then with more of the Attitude Era, which is King of the Ring, which I'm watching currently at the moment, which is not that good. Let's just say that. That's a little spoiler alert for you. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. So take it easy.